Just about the last thing the Conservatives need at this stage in the campaign is for that A word to surface. I'm referring to the word abortion. As we told you, it came up at a pro-life convention in Saskatchewan. The incumbent Conservative MP there thanked the group for helping to influence a government decision to cut funding to Planned Parenthood. You know what the Conservatives said? Whoa! And today, they're doing major damage control. The CBC's Dave Taylor is here to talk about it. Let's find out how much damage control they actually need, because for that, we need to know how damaging this issue is to the Conservatives.
Well, Sahana, this is sort of, in a way, kind of the worst nightmare for the Conservatives, because it brings back a lot of memories for the party and perhaps for voters, and gives an opportunity to the opposition. Let's just think back a little bit to the first election with Stephen Harper as leader of the new Conservative Party in 2004, where the Tories were fighting off candidates in all parts of the country who were talking about social issues. You had Cheryl Gallant up in the Ottawa Valley comparing abortion to the beheading of an American contractor in Iraq. Rob Merrifield, another old Canadian Alliance/Reform guy in BC, talking about perhaps abortion counseling being a good idea for anybody, thinking about the decision ahead of time for any woman. And then at the end of the campaign, Randy White, another class of '93 Reform MP, talking about the new Conservative Party using the notwithstanding clause to deal with any court decisions they didn't like. All of those things served to create a campaign story that worked really well for the Liberals, talking about a conservative hidden agenda. Now, with this story out of Saskatchewan, you have that bubbling up again. What are the Tories hiding? This guy out there talking about abortion, talking about Planned Parenthood, talking about denying funds to that organization. You can just sort of see the Liberals in particular salivating over this, because it allows them to drag out that old story again. Stephen Harper, you're the one with the hidden agenda. So there's the nightmare.
So is that how you foresee the other parties using this? Like, as we head into the home stretch here, and we talked about this, it's important for them to solidify their support, and we'll talk about the ground game and getting the vote out. But in terms of using new stuff like this,
no question about it. It's the kind of issue that allows an opposition party, which is up against, I have to say, I mean, the Conservatives learned a lot of lessons from that campaign in 2004, and we've seen in the now 3 campaigns since. One of the things they do is usually put a fellow like Brad Trost in kind of witness protection, right? You're not allowed to talk about this stuff. And as we've seen, the discipline within the party is really something to behold in sort of political campaign terms, but it doesn't remove that sort of underlying anxiety that certain people have about the Conservatives. And when somebody does bubble to the surface like this, Michael Ignatieff and his war room advisors are all sort of saying, okay, fine, we've got to find a way to leverage this, because it speaks to one of our core issues, that this party doesn't share our, the broad Canadian values. And we're waiting to see what Michael Ignatieff has to say today, but I would be pretty surprised if offered the opportunity to answer a question about this, he doesn't leap on it.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to take our viewers live to Stephen Harper when he shows up at an event later today, so I'm sure that question will be broached. He has not given any reaction to it yet, because there hasn't been the opportunity, but Dimitri Souttas, a spokesperson for the PMO, came out. So the Conservatives did some damage control, some spin control. Can they make this problem go away, though, Dave?
Well, I hate to use only time will tell, but only time will tell. The one thing I would say, however, Suhana, is that the speed with which the party has reacted on this does tell you something about their sensitivity to the issue, and the desire to maintain the brand, political parties are, in the eyes of the electorate, kind of a brand. They embody a certain set of values. The Conservative Party of 2004 is a different kettle of fish in many ways from the Conservative Party of 2011, and it's this version of the Conservative Party that the Tories want people to say, this is what we want to vote for. They don't want people thinking back to that other version. So to come out right away, well, like at midnight, and try to, put a lid on this thing right away is critical, because, if this were to somehow go viral, that's not good news for the Conservatives.
Thank you, Dave. We will watch to see how this unfolds today. That's the CBC's Dave Taylor here in studio. And remember, you can get all kinds of election information on our website all the time. While you're there, how about trying this? Check out our Vote Compass survey, if you haven't already, that is. The popular online tool may just help you to figure out your political leanings in this final stretch before voting day. Log on to cbcnews.ca/votecompass. Coming up for you, the latest from Campaign Ignatieff. Terry Milewski is traveling with the Liberal leader today. We'll also share some of the many emails we're getting on this question. Will your vote be influenced by the possibility of another minority government? Stay with Canada's #1 news network. We are back in just a moment.